Here we go. So we'll be live very soon. Kindly mute your microphones or the mic. Turn off your camera, please, and post your questions or queries in a chat box, please, and be polite and professional during the call. So I would like to welcome you all in this weekly webinar, Connect, Share, and Learn with Global Teachers. So in this webinar, we invite top 50 finalists for the Global Teacher Award. So till now, we have invited more than 10 finalists. Lucy from Russia, Jeff from USA, Cindy from Colombia, Carolina from Argentina, Scott from Canada, then Michael Dunla and Leo Juki from USA, and Gustavo from Mexico. And I think last webinar we invited Cindy. So this is how we have invited all these finalists. But today we have a very special guest, Olasunakami Ope Ipa, if I'm not wrong. He's a teacher in Government Day Secondary School, Karu, Abuja from Nigeria. And he will be talking about fun-based learning and his best practices he has been doing and inspiring his community in Nigeria. So quick agenda. It will be just 3 minutes for introduction, followed by 15 minutes of presentation. And then we have 10 more minutes for the question and answers. And last, I'll be concluding this session in 2 minutes. So let me just welcome all these attendees. Our special guest, Mr. Sanjay Kumar Rathod. He is a district education officer in Sholapur. With me, my co-host Manju Chilla, and the guest speaker tonight is Ope Ipa from Nigeria. So, little more information about Ope Ipa. He is a teacher in Nigeria with grand philosophy of teaching students the way they learn. His over a decade of teaching has earned him several awards for outstanding performance on the job. During this pandemic, he has been championing a teacher development program called One Teacher, One Topic, where he organized training for teachers on the use of digital tools. That's the need of our. So I would like to request Opeka to take a lead now and share your journey, the passionate and a very inspiring journey. So could you please share your screen now? Ope, can you share your screen?
Thank you so much for having me, my good friend Ranji. I believe you can see my screen now.
Yes, it's visible now.
Okay. Let me just move to slideshow. So, good afternoon from Nigeria. I want to believe it is evening in India there. Good evening in India. And thank you for having me. I've been well introduced, so I will just go straight to my slides here and talk about my teaching philosophy. Basically, I fell in love with teaching even as a child when I was age 8. And one thing I found in me that made me stand out, even as a person, even to myself, is the fact that I have this empathy. Quite all right, I may not have it generally for every other person or every other profession. But when it comes to teaching, I have this empathy for students. I've been there before. I've been in ignorance before. And I know what it means to just wallow in ignorance and not know what to do. So I enjoy learning, but not just learning alone, but learning to understand it in such a way that I will be able to teach it to others. So my passion for teaching is not just coming to class and putting something on the board for students. No, it's stepping into their shoes, feeling exactly the way they feel, okay, and then reaching out to them to get knowledge exactly the way they should get it and pass it across to them. I beg your pardon, sorry. I beg your pardon, please. So empathy became my watchword as a teacher. So hence my philosophy that teaching the students the way they learn. I go for knowledge, chew it in exactly the way, and I pass it across to them. And I'm going to be taking us through the fundamental things that led to this for me as a teacher. So I will move to my second slide, which talks about my teaching approaches. Over time, I've come to realize that my over 10 years of teaching has birthed this in me. One, I teach using fun-based learning, need-based learning, essence-based learning, and reality-based learning. So I'll go through them briefly and share examples of how I achieve this. First, I believe if it is worth learning, then it must be fun. If it is worth learning, then it must be fun. So I always reach out to students and look at what is actually fun for them. Of course, fun is relative. The children of 21st century, what is fun for them may not be what was fun for children of 20th century or older generation. So I reach out to them looking at music in the contemporary music around, contemporary style of dancing around, then I wrap it around my teaching. And this was born out of the fact that we had challenges with internet and light, which is one of the things that can attract children attention. So because those things are not there, I make sure in one way or the other, I wrap some of the things we teach in the classroom around music, around rapping, and around musical dance steps. So I can teach essay writing using a dance step in Nigeria called shaku shaku. I can teach sounds in English language by wrapping the sounds in an almost a local way. And these are the things I do. Secondly is need-based learning. I make sure that my lesson is based on the need of the children, not on my own. Of course, I have learned. Anytime I want to introduce to them, I look at the environment. How best can summary writing help these children? What is the reason for writing this? So I look at their basic need and I introduce the lesson to them. Thirdly is essence-based learning. In essence-based learning, I ask myself why, just like it's similar to need-based learning, why do we need to teach Concord in English language? I'm an English teacher. Why do we need to teach essay writing in English language? Why do we teach vocabulary development? Why do we? Once I am able to answer the why, I will know how to introduce to the students. And this is the first thing I tell them after my objective. I let them know that the reason why you want to learn summary writing is one, it makes you a good presenter. You are, for instance, now I've been given 15 minutes now, and as a good presenter, I shouldn't exceed that. So no matter how much I want to say at the end of the day, I should have the ability to say everything I want to say now, either in 1 minute, 2 minutes, and 3 minutes. And that makes you a good speaker and a good presenter. And the students know why they want to learn what they want to learn. I tell them that you need to learn how to speak well and pronouncing the words very well, because every international speaker must be mutually intelligible with the other speaker. Intelligibility is key when you are communicating, and they know that. So I introduce fun in class. I make it relate to the need of the society and their need, and I equally make it also to go for a particular reason, tracing it to the why, the big why. That's the big question of learning. And finally, I make sure that my learning is reality-based. It is not vague. It is based on what they can touch. It is palpable. No matter how abstract it is what they have worked with. It is what they can see yesterday. They had seen yesterday. It is what they will see tomorrow. It is what they use around them. I use the examples they are familiar with. If I'm teaching Concord, I make sure I use examples in the community, examples around us. So it makes it real to them. It is not vague. No matter what I want to teach, I bring it home. If I want to teach a register of a car or register of vehicles, we don't need to stay in the classroom. We go outside the classroom and I show them that. If I want to teach them register of agriculture, we don't need to stay in the classroom and talk about it. We go to the school farm and we look at things that way. So that is what I refer to as reality based learning. So I quickly move on to my next slide. Now, my next slide here talks about how do I bring those teaching approaches into some methodological approach, in my classes or during my lessons. One, as I said earlier, I use what I call edutainment. It's everywhere. The knowledge of edutainment is everywhere. I introduce games and music into my classroom. Anytime I want to teach test of orals, which is phonology, is taught here in Nigeria, I sing about it. There is a topic in English language in our national curriculum that is very difficult for students. It is called grammatical names and functions. This I have already composed 2 songs for, and anytime we finish teaching it, we go by singing it. We sing about it, and no matter how tough we had it, analyzing grammar, analyzing clauses and the rest, at the end of the day, the students will have to smile, and the fact that they sing about it will remain in their mind, and it will really arouse their interest. So I use games and I use music. During this lockdown, I just discovered a game, how I can use chess game to also teach an aspect of grammar. So these are the things I do to attract the attention of students to the difficult subjects and topics. I equally use flipped classroom model without e-learning. Now this one now, of course, we always have the challenge of light, electricity and the rest. So we write questions in the classroom and we exchange it. Now I make the students to become the teacher by assessing another person. So when you assess another person, you are stepping into the shoe of a teacher and you're also learning from the person's mistake too, such that when you are with yourself, you remember that this is how I marked this person. I must be careful when I'm doing mine too. And quickly, the next one is flipped classroom with e-learning. Here I use either Google Form or Microsoft Form to prepare some assessment for them, and I send it to them before the class. They will have gone through it, and then by the time they enter the classroom, it will be easier for me as a teacher to quickly teach this. So I'm moving on to the next method I use in the next slide now. And here I just finished talking about the methods I use. So what are the challenges that we face in this country? Yeah, it is not really fun still. We have challenges, and beyond all I have here, we have so many challenges. But basically, erratic power supply, electricity power now, is the problem. You can imagine a teacher who wants to use digital tools in the classroom. I've already prepared my slides. I want to show it on the projector to the students, and off goes the electricity power. It can be very frustrating. But how have I overcome this? I always have a backup of another fun method that I can use. No matter how much I won't be able to use electricity power, I will be able to wrap it around, we'll be singing in class, and then we smile. Internet connection is also a challenge. Internet connection is also a challenge in this part of the world. It is very costly and it is very expensive. And at times when you even have it, you hardly have connection that is smooth. So you need to pay a lot to have a very good connection. I know how much I just subscribed for now to have this for a month. It is almost half of my salary that has connected me now to an unlimited connection so that I can have this and other connections I want to do. And you can imagine going through that, and it's just a personal sacrifice. And finally, is lack of gadgets. The students can come with their laptop, they have their tablet. As the teacher is teaching, they have the. However, in this part of the world, we don't have that. Students don't have gadgets. Each teacher, in most cases, have to buy his own computer. To use to go and buy a new gadget so that I could use very well. Long before now, I've borrowed the school own, just few ones we have. We have just 20 in our school with over 1,000 students. So I've been borrowing theirs when mine spoils. So I had to go and get mine now. And you can imagine only one teacher having this and the rest of them do not have. So it's a very big challenge on our side. But regardless of this, we actually don't look at the challenge. We look at how to solve it and how to ride on it. And we believe that there is actually hope, and a very big hope ahead of us. So let me share some quotes with you, just 2 quotes that actually motivates me as a teacher. Dale Carnegie said, people rarely succeed unless they have fun in what they are doing. So I don't look at my challenges, and I make sure the students don't see the challenges too. I make sure they see the fun in what we are doing. And once you see fun in what you are doing, no matter how much you are faced with obstacles, with challenges, you can still go on and on and on. Time will not permit me to start sharing one or two things I've faced, but at the same time, I've rolled over it and I am where I am today. And finally, creativity is intelligence having fun. I love that. Anytime I want to just develop a new style in the classroom, I enjoy doing it and playing my hands around it. I have been sitting down here now since the morning. I only stood up to take my breakfast and I came back here, learning so many things online. How to do this on Microsoft Word, how to do this on Excel, and I enjoy how to manipulate what's it called, PowerPoint here and there, and I'm just catching fun with learning. So thank you for having me, and I believe it will be a wonderful time with you and your questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And I really like to reemphasize your last quote that learning cannot be done without having fun. Am I right?
Yes, you're correct. Let me share it again.
Yeah, I do have it. I'll just repeat it. People rarely succeed unless they have fun in what they are doing. So this is what exactly
Yes.
you want to say. So before we move ahead, I would like to share the screen and we will just start question and answer session. The audience, now you can post your questions in a chat box or you can raise hand. So you can ask him directly or you can just type in a question chat box. So be smart, be prepared that you post your questions in a chat box only. So questions should not be, should be very short and objective. It should not be like descriptive type question. Feedback and recommendations are most welcome, but refrain from asking descriptive type questions like tell us about educational system in your country. So we avoid these type of questions and respect personal life of a presenter. I hope you understand what I want to say. Now I'll just quickly look in the chat box and if you have any more questions. Yes, we have so many questions. Here we go. So teachers are very much interested that you tell them that you are singing songs and like this. So they want to listen to your songs. So is it possible?
Yes, it is.
So could you
okay, let me quickly go over one. And if you can equally search for me on YouTube, some of these songs are there too. Just search for my name on YouTube and you will find, I believe my friend, we can share my name, the spelling, so that you can look for it. But I will sing one of the songs that has to do with grammatical names and functions. And it is related to our cultural. I transferred it from our, I got the lyrics or the tone of the song from our cultural song so that it can really relate to the background of the children. So let me try.
Okay,
I may not really be
good.
Yeah, I have my children who sing for me a lot. Once I compose it, they sing it very well. So I go like this. Grammatical names and functions, oh. Grammatical names and functions, oh. Adjective says, which one? Adverbia says, when and where and why. And noun says, what and who and whom. And noun says, what and who and whom. So let me explain what that song's all about.
Oh, that's really nice.
Thank you.
And you have a great singing voice. It's good to listen to your songs. Thank you so much for singing for us. Thank you so much. So we have next question. The teacher is very much interested to know how the chess game clan helps students to learn grammar.
Okay, it's okay. Let me share it with you. It's almost a trademark. Can you just permit me to make a call to someone to give me the chessboard so that I can show you directly?
Okay.
1 minute.
Okay. Yeah. Please go ahead. you just can call, and meanwhile I will just go through the chat box and to see what exactly the questions are. Sharash Chandra is asking, we would like to see your class images. Actually, Sharash Chandra, he is now at home, and that's why he couldn't share the images of your class, of his classrooms, and with his students. Oh, here we go. He has.
Now here with this, I think I'm sharing my. Okay, I think it's clearer now. This is a chart.
Yeah.
This is a chess board sample. I just printed it. Now chess has 8 players, so to say. So I'm going to arrange all the part of speech in line. 8, 8 now. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 8. So we have 16 players on one side and the 16 on the other side. So the first side, let me call it the other side now. We are going to arrange all the part of speech and even their types. We don't have up to 16, but we can break verb into 2, where we have lexical verb and auxiliary verb. So I put noun, common noun, and all of them like that, adjectives and the rest. I make sure I get 16 meta languages, 16 grammatical names. Then I look for other 16 examples too that can match with any of them. And just like the way you play the game of draft, you move it. As you move your A, the other opponent too is moving his own. So when they meet together at a point where the other one can jump over it, you have won the game for that moment and you take it away. I'll try and work on a video where I'll play it out and then it will be seen, and I can share it with my friend here too, then who can share with you. So that's just the concept around it. When I move my noun, the opponent too must move a noun example. We'll be avoiding each other until I'm able to track the noun example down with the noun word, and then I take it out. Then we keep on playing again. I move my adjective, you move your own adjective too. We keep on playing on the table until I'm able to get to where your adjective is. If I get there first, I take out your adjective as my own game. So whoever takes out the other person's out first becomes the winner.
Yeah, it's a really creative way. You know, we play chess in a leisure time, but we never thought of playing chess game to teach grammar like this. The way you planned, you have designed the game, it's something unusual and extraordinary that someone cannot imagine. That chess can be used to teach the grammar. That's an excellent way of teaching grammar. Thank you so much for sharing that. Sharash Chandra has a question and he wants to know what is exactly the difference between need-based and essence teaching.
Okay. Please let's quickly note that some of these things are my own coinage based on my experience and my activities in the class. So a need-based learning they are related, they are very close. Need-based is just looking at the need of the society. Okay. So once you have been able to define the needs of the society in relation to the life of the children, then you go to the next one, which is essence-based, when you now communicate it to the students in class and tell them exactly why they need to learn what they want to learn because there is a need in the society. You know, the curriculum actually bridges the gap between the needs of society and what we teach in our school. So in our school, we want to teach how to make telephone. We are not going to start teaching them from primary school. We will start from probably 1 + 1, 2 + 2, the definition of communication, and so on. So, and then by the time we are going to get to and then at every stage, you keep on telling the student why they need to learn because there's a bigger goal ahead of us. And the bigger goal is the need of the society, while chunk by chunk is the essence base, where you are teaching them and explaining to them in chunks. I believe I've been able to answer that question to an extent.
Yes. I think Sharash Chandra has got the answer. Excellent way of explaining the difference between need-based and essence teaching. I think this is the unique thing that I learned today, that essence-based learning. So this is something new to me as well. So thank you so much, Sharash Chandra, for asking. NMV teacher is asking, what is teacher's smile face when teacher in front of students? Sorry, we don't understand what you mean by this. Now I'll go to the next slide. Next question. Oh,
okay, I can show you my smiling face. I smile a lot in my class. Yeah.
You know, smile is actually a sense of beauty to the viewers. So we keep smiling at the teacher in the classrooms. So Sagar is asking, when do you start teaching grammar to your students? I mean your grade or maybe their age group that they start learning the grammar part of the language.
Okay, in Nigeria, grammar starts from the first time you enter school. Because
Oh,
grammar basically has to do with the alphabet. It starts from the alphabet, where you say the students will pronounce will be taught the difference between what's it called now, consonant letters and vowel letters. All these coming together are the things that form their foundation. But the proper immersion into grammar is in the, let's say, grade 1, grade 3, grade 2. In most cases, even grade 1, where we define a noun. A noun is a name of any person, animal, place, or thing. We start singing it even from their primary one, and they start generating example. So from grade 1, we start introducing grammar to them so that it can form a whole part of their learning.
it's interesting to know that the students are learning grammar at early stage. Here in India, at the beginning or from the grade 1, we just enjoy learning or enjoy listening the language like English or other languages. There is no part of grammar. So grammar is actually introduced maybe from the grade 5. After the 10 years, students started to learning more about the grammar part of any language. Okay, so the chat box is actually flooding by the messages like the great idea of using chess. The teaching community is really big fan of you and the way you have used the chess game, and you actually sing a song for them, so they very much liked it. Thank you.
Thank you.
So yeah,
So
I think we don't have any more questions.
can I show you some of my activities in the class?
Yes.
My activities generally cannot be classroom per se.
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, let me just quickly show you with my computer here. We'll just speak over it. I guess I'm sharing my screen now. Okay, I don't think my screen is on yet.
Not yet?
Not yet. Okay, just give it some time. It's taking.
Yeah. Take your time.
Okay, as beautiful as I'd expected now. That's one challenge here. Once the weather changes and it's about to rain, we have issues with our network. So, and the weather is already changing phase, but I still have my network a bit strong, but equally strong. Now, currently, my computer is hanging.
Okay.
Okay. Can we see the screen now?
Not yet.
Sir, we are not able to see the screen, sir.
Sorry?
Okay, you will see. Here we go.
Sir, the screen is not. Yes, sir. Now it's. Yeah, sure, sir. Now we are able to see the screen, sir.
It's visible now.
It's visible.
Yes. He was actually trying to share his screen. That's why you might not be able to see the screen, but now it's working. Yes, Opeta, now you can go ahead.
Okay, something else has happened beyond me again. Okay, Now here are teachers. If you can see this now, here were teachers that I introduced some of my teaching styles to. We call this project Empathical Project. I know some of you were part of it. It's an international project. Yes. In addition to that, we taught them how to do what we call exchange classroom. And that was what I taught over 50 of them. And in addition to this now, I taught them some other technological things that they could use in their classroom. So let me also go on with this. Now, this is my training with teachers. This is me when I was, and this is my language lab also. This is one of my classrooms, so to say. Anytime I want to teach my students with the projector and I have electricity power, I come to this lab and then I teach with this. Let me move on whether I still have few examples of, okay, sorry, these are few ones I have here. Okay, I think I've exhausted that.
Okay, I think you just have a couple of pictures.
Okay, let me show this where we had activities there was this program we went for in a state, and this is my student presenting. You can just give it some. Okay.
Yeah, it's loading. Yeah, I can see it.
Presenting on how to separate waste, nylon waste, from other waste, and then turn it into instructional materials in the classroom. This particular girl with the microphone will melt plastics and nylon together and turn it into cone, into some few shapes that we can use in our classroom. And she has won several awards for that. Several awards for that. So these are the few ones I can show now. If I were in my school, I think I would have used the school laptop to where I kept some of them. This is a personal laptop now. I was just able to just manage to get a few. I would have loved to show you the award I won, and yes, and the building that was built for my school. If you had read my story before, where I won an award, and okay, I'm trying to see just the most appropriate one. Okay, I've seen one. Okay, behind us is the building that was given to our school. It's a block of 6 classrooms with 8 toilets and modern library. So in the middle here, the woman with the scissors is one representing the Minister of Education who came to dedicate it. This is me in suit. This is my principal in purple blouse and skirt. This is one of my bosses in the Ministry of Education also. That's on the right hand side now. And on the left hand side is the chairman of what we call TRCN, Teacher Registration Council in the country. And it's a big award. This actually made me the best teacher in Nigeria in 2018. So I think just this, okay, this more of.
Yeah, that's good to know that you are a teacher of the year in Nigeria. That's good to know.
Yes, I won the award of the best teacher in 2018. These are my students during the celebration of the award. This was when I was given the vote of thanks, and my colleagues that came to support. And this is the building. I think we should be able to see it. We can see the building a little bit bigger now. Okay, this was the crew that worked in your company that gave us the award. It's a national award there, and this is it now. This is the building. It's a big one, and it's a big one for our school.
Okay.
All right. So I think I've been able to share a little picture of what our school looks like to our next.
Yes. Yeah.
Share.
Yeah. Thank you so much. But before that, I will ask the audience to share your love. So you can now post your feedback in a chat box. I will just quickly share a link. Just follow that link and you will be prompted to menti.com, and the screen will be something like this. Just write your one single word, share your love, and that's how we will conclude this session. So thank you so much, Ope Ipa, for being a part of this wonderful webinar, informative webinar. And thanks for joining us tonight and sharing your very interesting and very inspiring story with our teaching community. More than, I think, 80 teachers have joined tonight. So it was really wonderful to have you tonight and being a part of your journey. It's like, it's like a dream. You actually did a great job with community in Nigeria. So thank you so much. I have now posted a link to share your feedback in a chat box. So I will just request everyone to share your love and your everything, what you feel about this session in a chat box. So thank you so much, Ope Ipa, for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for this wonderful session and a very good experience about to share with us.
Yeah, so it's now time to say